Let me sing you a song, boys, of fire and flame, of a French ammo ship, the Mont Blanc was her name. How the brave Nova Scotia was never the same on the morning when Halifax burned.
I'm gonna be mad if this outperforms my videos that I put a bit more effort into. I'm just making this now. I was gonna do like a whole script thing, whatever. I'll probably put effort into the edit, but as it is right now, I don't think I need a script. I think I have most of my points done pretty well. I know the general idea of this video, and luckily the situation is fairly new, and so it doesn't require a whole lot of gobbledygook shit to talk about. So, what am I talking about? You're not ready for this. You're not ready for this, alright? A YouTuber is mentally ill.
This is a certified hood classic.
I don't want to make light of the situation because I actually do respect this content creator quite a bit. I respect him quite a bit. I've been watching for a while. His name is Alfaoxtrot. Now, a lot of you probably don't know who he is, but if you're familiar, you might know him from his most popular video, which is how I became a liminal space photographer. That did pretty well for his channel. It was like 1 million views. Or his long dead series, which I'm pretty sure is never making a return, Minecraft But You Feel 10 Again. I don't think that's happening, fellas. I think we should drop the weight. I don't think that's gonna happen. Why am I talking about him today? Why is he important enough for me to make a video on? Something has been happening with him the last couple of months, and a lot of the people in his audience took notice. He's kind of not been doing well. A lot of people in the audience noted that he was getting really, really skinny, like more than usual, and now people are trying to say, well, maybe he's just working out, but like, it was such a drastic change. He looked more tired, just in general, so people were getting worried, and then he goes missing for long periods of time, even on his Patreon. But he came out recently with a video which is titled something like "My Testimony, Jesus is Real" or whatever, right? And I want to make it clear, I want to harp on this point instantly, because some people on the Reddit, on the Alfaoxtrot Reddit, believe, or under the certainty, that anybody who is worried about Alpha is just a fake fan who does not like him because he's Christian. I'm not one of those people. I have no issues if Alpha wants to be Christian, right? There are some things he says in his video that are a little bit concerning, and it's really ticking me off that you guys on the Reddit are just saying it's not mental illness, it's God. Let me be clear. If he becomes more deranged because you guys are blowing smoke up his ass, that's on you. 100%, right? And also goes for anybody who is purely unsubscribing because he's Christian now. Like, he's not going to suddenly become homophobic or something, right? That's not even like, it's like a thing, yeah, it's associated with like religious groups and stuff. That's just some groups. A lot of groups, well, I say a lot of groups, some of them are like that. It's an issue, but like, let's not assume anything, because that's kind of unfair, right? Coryxkenshin is Christian. I don't think I've ever seen him say or do anything that makes it seem like he's going to hate on certain groups just because of his religion. That's not what it's for. And people have twisted the religion to fit their agenda. Like, so, yeah, so he came out as Christian. Like I said, a lot of people are being overly positive without really looking into it and being too concerned. If you look on his comments right now, a lot of people are just supporting him 100%. They're not even looking into some of the shit he says. Well, on the Reddit, it's complete and utter fucking chaos. It's civil war. You have people who are making big posts saying, I'm leaving the subreddit. This is why I'm leaving. You know, I'm gonna unsubscribe from Alpha. He's lost 2,000 subs since then, and I'm pretty sure he's on track to lose another 1,000 by tomorrow, maybe the day after, right? Which, not good. Like, you don't just lose 2,000 subs out of nowhere, right? Like, for him, a channel that, like, because on YouTube, 400k, look, that's no number to scoff at, right? He's almost to 500k. That's still, in today's numbers, that's small compared to some channels. So, for his channel, that's not good. He lost some serious progress by releasing this video, because people have some issues with Christianity. Like I mentioned, there are some groups of people who use their religion to justify their awful deeds, and some people have some trauma associated with those groups. Ruby Frank being a perfect example. I don't know if she was Christian. I gotta make it clear. There are people who are just going to defend Christianity no matter what, even if you're not really criticizing it. They're gonna come in and they're not gonna know what the fuck you're talking about, and they're gonna cause all these problems and be ultra annoying. But we're getting off topic, right? The main topic is what's going on with Alfaoxtrot. He comes out as Christian, blah blah blah. His audience is blowing smoke up his ass. Why are you caring so much about this? He's just Christian. What's the real issue here? That's perfectly fine. Let me explain some of the shit he says. We're gonna skip over certain parts because I don't think those parts are too concerning, and skip over the parts that are the most concerning. Very concerning, right? Number 1, OG4. You think I'm joking? I'm fucking not. He claimed that in a match of OG Fortnite that God gave him future vision. What in the fuck are you talking about, bro? I think this is where I got really concerned, because this was such an odd statement to make. You can see the future. And keep in mind, it wasn't like something like really important, like God gave me a vision, right? And I stopped 9/11 too. No need to thank me, right? Like even that would be more ridiculous, but I would almost I can almost believe, like, okay, well, all right. If God was ever going to give somebody future vision, it would be something like that, right? To stop something horrible. OG Fortnite? Listen, man, I'm going to be real with you, all right? Dap me up. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, right? I'm going to be real with you, right? You're going to want to build here in a second. I mean, there's some guys coming around, you know, they're tilted. I want to build. That's ridiculous! That is ridiculous. Even for Christians, that's ridiculous, dude. I swear to you. Bro, he's off his rockers. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. This is serious. He has mental illness, clearly. But the statement alone, it is why people think some people still think it's an elaborate bit. It's an elaborate joke, because Alpha's made jokes like this in the past, right? Like, oh, guys, I'm not a furry, and then he's into Judy Hopps or whatever the fuck. I can't tell if it's elaborate bit or not, but that alone is fucking wild. But I 100% do not think it's elaborate bit. I think he's being fucking honest, truthful, and that's what scares me, dude. Like, that's not good. I think he's losing it. He's losing it. He needs to, like, listen, again, Alpha, if you're watching this video, let me make this very clear about the whole Christian thing, right? If you want to be Christian because Jesus makes you happy, God makes you happy, right? You know, serving the Lord makes you happy. That is no issue. I got no problem with that, man, right? But I think you should go see medical and mental professionals, and they could probably explain this stuff a lot clearer to you, because leaving it up into the hands of the Lord is not smart nor wise. You know what? I do appreciate the Christians, because some of them have replied to me, where they say that they believe it is a sin to deny modern medicine, because if God did not want you to have that medicine, he would not give the idea, or he would not, you know, have the scientists make it, which I can rock with that. I can rock with that ideology. Props to you, you know, get you some Reddit gold. I like that ideology. However, the way Alpha talks about it it sounds like someone who's now not going to believe the medical system because they couldn't explain it. He was physically fine, right? We're gonna get into the next point now because the future vision shit was concerning, and honestly, I think it was probably just deja vu. But I think it was deja vu, and now he has like delusions of grandeur because, like, that's a little bit concerning. I just want to say, I'm not a mental health professional. I'm just saying some of the shit he says. Even if you're not a mental health professional, right? It does set off some alarm bells. This one really pissed me off. Jesus cured my gluten intolerance, right? Among other things. You know, he cured him not being able to drink coffee. All right? But let me break it down for you. Here's the real... That's not going to happen. I'm sorry, it's not. I'm sorry, it's not. When you have an intolerance of some kind, it does not just go away because you prayed it away, right? Not in the slightest. Someone brought this up. I don't have too much information into this, but it might be a placebo thing where he was very depressed, extremely depressed, and so he couldn't eat certain foods anymore because of this depression. And I know that sounds dumb, but that can happen. When you are very depressed, certain things will just not be enjoyable anymore, or it will make you feel more like shit. That actually does happen. And as for the coffee thing, dude, I think that might connect into your lightheadedness because coffee's very, very like dehydrating. It's not a good substitute for water. So you stop drinking coffee all of a sudden, you stop getting lightheaded, you stop getting headaches. Probably because you stopped drinking coffee, and then after a while you were able to drink coffee again. It just so happened to occur when you started praying. A lot of these things were, stop doing this shit, wait for a couple of months, then you can do it again. Like, the depression thing, listen, if Jesus, if in his opinion Jesus cured his depression, fine, whatever, that's his belief, respect it. There's nothing wrong with that. However, I do still think you should go see a mental health professional because, unfortunately, I don't think the Lord wants you to push all of that onto him and take that chance of something happening, and then even that doesn't work, right? Because I know some people who were in a similar position, right? One was literally homeless, went to church, and while it fixed stuff for a while, it's not a bona fide 100% like thing you should stick with. Like, you need to go see a professional. So he claimed that Jesus cured his intolerance, his gluten intolerance, because he couldn't eat anything gluten for the last 2 years. The reason this ticked me off is because my brother actually deals with celiac disease, which is, he can't eat gluten, right? Keep in mind, I'm almost certain Alpha just converted a bunch of idiotic children into thinking that praying to God or Jesus will solve any medical issues, right? Because he does have children in his audience. It's not the entire audience, but he does have them. So, if some poor fucker in the audience, some poor kid, has celiac disease or gluten intolerance, you are actively going to make their life fucked because you said, do this thing. He'll take it away, right? And because it's a placebo thing, right? They're going to eat gluten and they're going to feel like nothing's wrong for a while. Oh my god, it was just so annoying. It's really hard to talk about this because I've seen what my brother's gone through with celiac disease, and it fucking sucks. I can only imagine what Alpha went through, right? Because that has to suck. But there are other ways to explain it than just this, and just abrasionly saying that Jesus cured this is really, I'm gonna be honest, quite stupid. No diss to the religion, but it's really stupid, dude. You need to go see medical professionals and mental professionals They might explain some things. They might make certain things clearer. If you still believe in God after the fact, I mean, I'm not saying go there to get your belief disproven. I'm saying go there so that you don't join God quicker. The last thing, this happened early on in this video, but it did tick me off. His views on atheism. Now, let me make it clear. I'm not exactly an atheist, because an atheist says, we do not believe in God. I am Snow's friend Caleb, and I named myself Dr. Pepper God on Discord, even though I don't believe in Dude, I'm sorry. It was right there. You named yourself that. I get you like Dr. Pepper, but the irony? Right? That's what atheism is that they don't believe in God. They believe we were created by the Big Bang Theory, like the Big Bang Theory, or something like some sort of creation theory, which is we were created like this, we were created like that. It's whatever. It's fine. I think it's a kind of logical explanation to come to when in the Bible God was doing all these like fucking feats, like flooding the earth, you know, telling his followers, hey, a lot of people don't believe in me anymore. I want you to prove that people still believe in me by taking your son up to a mountain and sacrificing him. Bad? Okay. Like, there was like just a bunch of shit God did in the Bible. Has been doing it recently. So either he's asleep at the wheel, or he's not real. That's the belief of atheism, is that you don't believe in God, right? He seems to have had a very bad experience with atheism, or my belief, he's misconstruing it with another ideology, that being nihilism, where nothing matters. Anything you do is very, very useless. And now here's the thing, right? Technically, yes, that's true. If you don't believe in God, yes, that is true. Nothing you do really matters, right? But you should not let that dictate your life. And you should not stop yourself from doing certain things because of that, right? Like, because at that point, just fucking give up. Because nothing else matters, right? Because it's like, well, why even continue on? You know? It's a very depressing ideology. And I'm going to be honest, I think in some sort of way it's very close to what, I can't say the word on YouTube. I'm going to blur it out so you can read my lips. People, right? It's very close to what people think like when they're getting close to the act of committing, right? So it's a very depressing thought. So I believe whatever he was misconstruing with atheism, it was just him being ultra depressed, you know, because he was, right? But it's not atheism. Like, it's not this thing where nothing matters, like there's no morals to instill. That's fucking pathetic. If you don't have any morals, right? Here's the hard truth. Your parents did not instill morals into you. And it's not an atheism thing, right? Because you can still be an atheist and be a good person. Like, you should not have this higher power. This is why I vehemently sometimes disagree with religion. You should not be a good person because you think some higher fucking power is watching over you 24/7 and deciding what actions are good and what actions are bad, right? You should be a good person because it's just the fucking simple thing to do. It's not that hard at all. And I would argue being a bad person causes you more issues in the long run than being a good person. Because if you're just bad your entire life, forget hell. Anybody you knew is going to judge you based on your actions, right? A perfect example for this. Too Mad was a shit person the last few years of his life. Again, this all goes down to like legacy, like what you do on this planet, even if there is no God and there is no afterlife. The shit you say or do, right, will inevitably come back to bite you in the ass, even after like that. If you do fucked up shit to a family, the family you're in, and it's so bad that it stays with family members for years, you will hear about it. 100% you will hear about it. I never knew my great-grandfather on my father's side. However, I've heard stories about him. And they're not exactly positive because the shit he did stuck with the family. Like, it affected the family. Like, 100%, no doubt about it. That's no question at all. Right? So this whole thing where if you're an atheist, like, there's no real morals to it, and you can just say or do anything. And one thing he said was that I didn't care what I did as long as I got away with it. I'm sorry to say that, Alpha, but I don't think that has anything to do with you being an atheist. I think, right, from what I've heard, from what it sounds like coming from you, unless you've been gaslit or something to believe you were a bad person, that you yourself considered yourself a bad person, and you would do stuff no matter the consequence to others. Because saying I would do anything as long as I got away with it, it didn't matter, right? Like, my mind immediately falls to some mini lad shit, but I had a little bit of faith in Alpha that he wouldn't do shit like that, but that's kind of the shit you would say about actions like that. Again, it's not proven. I don't think Alpha would do this, but it's like that bad, on the level of that bad. I don't know what Alpha did to where he's still feeling bad about it, and he's saying shit like that, but that's clearly stuck with him, right? And I'll be honest, right? He says he's happy and shit. He seemed really indecisive about what he's going to do going forward. I don't think he's all too happy. I think he's still pretty depressed, and I think he's deluding himself into thinking this will fix everything when it's not. Because, like, the way he was talking about it at the end, it just seemed really depressing. It didn't seem like somebody who had, like, a new attitude on life at all. It just seemed like that was just Alpha. And he's still depressed, and it's not really done anything. But that's just speculation at this point. I still think he's mentally ill, and people should check up on him. I want to make it clear. I'm still subscribed to to Alpha on YouTube. And if he comes back and he makes gaming content like he did before, right, with a little bit of Christianity elements to it, whatever the fuck, I'll still support him. But if he's going to start doing content like reading the Bible, Bible reading session with Alpha, right? No, I'm not going to do that. I am not really looking forward to whatever this glorifying God content is going to be. And a lot of other people are the same way, because it's not what they subscribe for. Which brings me to my final point. Finally, we're getting to there after like almost 40 minutes of recording. My final point. The Reddit. I need to address some of the Redditors. I already addressed the Christian ones who get all uppity saying they're fake fans. I don't even think that some of these people have been in the fandom for that long. So it's hilarious to me when they're saying fake fans, and it's like, dude, you've been here for like a year. Shut the fuck up. I fucking hate people who do that. You've been here for a year. Me, I'm close to an OG. I was here like 3-4 years ago. Almost 4 years, I'm pretty sure. Right? I have been subscribed for the longest time, even through the multiple month-long breaks. You do not have space to talk about being a fake fan. Shut up. Kind of fucking damn it. But then the people, like I said, who are unsubscribing to Alpha purely because he's Christian, it's not a good reason to really unsubscribe from him, I'm sorry. I mean, if you got issues with it because you've got some trauma relating to it, I guess, but even then, I can't seem to justify it. The only group I can really commend on the Patreon, the subreddit, is the people who are neutral, who are fine with Alpha being Christian. They're just sort of worried about him, because that's the correct stance to take right now. It's not blowing smoke up his ass. It's not hightailing and ditching it because he's not making the content you want anymore. And like I said, I might unsubscribe for him. Right? I might, right? If it's not the content I want to see, I might just stop watching him. That's all, right? But I'm 100% still going to be worried if this behavior continues. Just because I don't want to watch his content anymore doesn't mean I'm not worried about him as a person, right? You can still be that. You could still worry about people. Claiming that people are morally bad because they're leaving because they don't want to watch Bible thumper content, right? Right? That's not the same thing as I'm leaving because I just don't care about this person. You can still check up on people. You can 100% do that. It's not that hard. It's the internet. If you want to check up on how Alpha's doing after you leave, it is literally a click away. I doubt very many people who were subscribed for so long as they were would not come back to see how Alpha's doing and if he's doing okay, right? Like, baseline, most humans aren't that bad of people to just hightail it and then never look back, right? So, I think it's a little bit unfair to say that everyone who's driving is a bad person. They're ditching Alpha. They just don't want to see Bible content. They don't want to see Christian content, right? And that's their choice. It's their free will, you know? Just how it's Alpha's free will if he wants to make Christian content. But these are the consequences of those, right? You changing your content so drastically from what your audience is used to that a bit of them leave. Anyways, that was the video. I'm worried about him. I hope he gets help soon because this is kind of concerning. We're back though. We got videos. You know, the last video I did was a Subnautica meme, but we're back. Most importantly, do not send any hate towards Alpha or anybody I mentioned in this video at all. That's never appreciated, like in the slightest. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, bye-bye. Oh, that's a lot better for lighting. Holy shit. Oh, nearly an hour's worth of content, and half of it has shit lighting. I suck at this.